Ever felt like you're trying to fix your life, but don't even know where to start? Same here, until I found this. Welcome to Simplified Whispers, where we break down powerful books into simple, life-changing lessons. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about self-help books of our time, 12 Rules for Life by Jorden B. Peterson. This isn't just a book. It's a guide to navigating the chaos of life with structure, meaning, and responsibility. Jorden Peterson, a renowned clinical psychologist, lays out 12 practical yet profound rules to help you become stronger, more focused, and truly in control of your life. Let's break it down, rule by rule, in the simplest way possible. Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson explains how something as simple as your posture can influence your mindset and your life. He begins with the example of lobsters who live in a social hierarchy. After a fight, the winning lobster stands taller and becomes more confident, while the loser shrinks and becomes more passive. This change isn't just in posture, it affects their brain chemistry too. Humans, similarly, send messages to themselves and others through body language. If you slouch and look defeated, you start to feel weak, and people treat you that way. But if you stand tall with your shoulders back, even if you're not feeling confident yet, it signals strength and readiness. Over time, it can change how you see yourself and how others perceive you. Peterson argues that this physical stance is the first step toward taking responsibility for your life. Instead of blaming the world or collapsing under pressure, you should start by controlling what you can: your posture, habits, and surroundings. This rule is ultimately about building self-respect, embracing responsibility, and preparing yourself to face life's challenges head-on, starting with your body and attitude. Rule 2. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. Many people take better care of others than they do of themselves. For example, someone might ensure their pet gets the right medicine on time, but forget or avoid taking their own. Jorden Peterson questions why we often treat ourselves worse than we'd treat someone we love. He suggests that part of the problem lies in guilt and self-loathing. People sometimes don't believe they deserve care or kindness. Others simply don't take responsibility for their own well-being. But Peterson insists that if your life matters, and it does, then you matter, and you have a duty to treat yourself with respect. Just as you'd help a friend become healthier, stronger, and more fulfilled, you should help yourself the same way. That means making decisions that are truly good for you, not just what feels good in the moment. This rule is a call to self-responsibility and self-compassion. It doesn't mean being selfish. It means valuing your own life enough to care for it wisely. You are not just someone to be tolerated. You're someone to be nurtured, guided, and helped. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for, because you are. Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson talks about the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. He argues that not all friendships are good for you. Some people stay in relationships that drag them down, either out of guilt, habit, or a savior complex, the belief that they can fix others. Peterson urges readers to choose friends who genuinely want the best for them, people who support your growth, celebrate your successes, and encourage you to be better. If your friends are stuck in self-destructive patterns and aren't willing to change, staying close to them can pull you down too. True friends will not resent your progress or success. They won't use guilt or manipulation to hold you back. Instead, they'll challenge you, support you, and push you to rise. This rule is not about being selfish or abandoning people in need. It's about setting healthy boundaries and recognizing that you can't help people who refuse to help themselves. Your environment shapes your mindset. So choose company, that lifts you up, not drags you down. In short, surround yourself with people who make you stronger, not weaker, and be that kind of person for others too. Rule 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson warns against the trap of constantly comparing ourselves to others. Social media, competition, and societal expectations often make us feel like we're falling behind. But comparing yourself to others is often unfair. People are at different stages in life, with different backgrounds and challenges. Peterson suggests a healthier approach. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Focus on your own growth, even if it's just a small improvement. Did you make better choices today? Did you handle a situation more calmly than last time? That's real progress. This mindset helps reduce jealousy, self-pity, and the feeling of being not good enough. Life is not a race with others. It's a personal journey. Every day offers a chance to be a bit more organized, patient, honest, or focused than you were before. Peterson also points out that our lives are full of hidden problems others don't see. So when we envy someone's success, we might not know the full story. Instead of comparing your weakness to someone else's strength, work on becoming a better version of yourself, step by step. Success in this view isn't about beating others. It's about constantly growing and improving yourself. Rule 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson focuses on parenting and discipline. He argues that many modern parents avoid correcting their children because they want to be liked or fear being too strict. However, by not setting boundaries, they allow children to behave in ways that even the parents secretly dislike. Peterson emphasizes that children need structure and discipline to grow into responsible, socially accepted adults. If a child behaves badly and no one corrects it, they won't learn what's acceptable. And eventually, the world will punish them harshly. The goal of parenting, he says, isn't to control kids, but to teach them how to behave so others will welcome and value them. Ignoring bad behavior or making excuses leads to resentment, both from the parent and from society. Parents must be honest with themselves. If your child is behaving in a way that even you don't like, chances are others won't like it either. Effective discipline is not about anger or cruelty. It's about fair, consistent, and loving correction. Children need parents who guide them, not fear them. If you teach your child how to behave properly early on, they'll have a much better chance at a happy, successful life. Rule 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. In this powerful chapter, Jorden Peterson encourages readers to look inward and take responsibility for their own lives before blaming the world for its problems. Many people, when faced with suffering or injustice, turn bitter, angry, or even destructive, blaming society, politics, or even existence itself. Peterson argues that while life is undeniably hard and often unfair, resentment and blame only make things worse. He shares stories of individuals who faced horrible circumstances, including people who committed tragic acts because they believed life had treated them unjustly. Instead of following that path, Peterson suggests a different response. Take responsibility for what you can control. He urges you to examine your life honestly. Are there things you know you're doing wrong? Habits that make your life worse? Relationships you've neglected? Before you try to fix the world, clean up your own space, physically, emotionally, and morally. This rule is not about perfection, but about integrity and accountability. Start small. Tidy your room. Speak the truth. Take care of your duties. When your personal life is in order, you'll be stronger, clearer, and more capable of making a real difference in the world. Rule 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson discusses the deep difference between doing what is meaningful and doing what is expedient. Expedient actions are shortcuts, doing whatever is easiest, quickest, or most comfortable in the moment, even if it's dishonest or harmful in the long run. Meaning, on the other hand, involves sacrifice, responsibility, and long-term thinking. Peterson draws from religious stories and psychological insights to show that life involves suffering, and the only way to endure it with dignity is to find meaning. Meaning often requires discipline, honesty, and doing what's right, not what's easy. For example, telling the truth, working hard, and taking care of your family may not bring instant rewards, but they lead to a life of real value. He criticizes modern culture's obsession with pleasure, comfort, and avoiding pain. True fulfillment, Peterson argues, comes from choosing responsibility over avoidance and purpose over pleasure. When you pursue meaning, you create order out of chaos. You become someone others can rely on and someone you can respect. Meaning gives you strength, even in the darkest times. In short, don't look for shortcuts. Instead, aim for what matters, even when it's hard. That's the path to a life worth living. Rule 8, tell the truth. Or at least, don't lie. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson stresses the importance of truthfulness, not just in speech, but in action and thought. He explains that lying, even in small ways, creates a false version of reality. Over time, these lies pile up and lead to confusion, chaos, and suffering, both for the liar and everyone around them. Peterson isn't saying you have to reveal every secret or be brutally honest all the time. Instead, he urges you to stop saying things you know are untrue, to others and to yourself. Even little lies, told to avoid conflict or gain approval, can slowly damage your integrity and sense of purpose. Living truthfully doesn't mean life becomes easier. In fact, it often requires more courage, but it does make life more meaningful and stable. Truth creates a foundation you can build on. Lies, by contrast, are unstable and lead to resentment, failure, and emotional chaos. Peterson argues that truth is the antidote to chaos, and that facing reality, no matter how painful, is always better than hiding from it. So if you can't tell the full truth yet, at least don't lie. That's a powerful step toward a more honest, grounded life. Rule 9. Assume that the person you're listening to might know something you don't. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson highlights the importance of genuine listening. Most people listen not to understand, but to reply. They wait for their turn to speak or try to win the conversation. Peterson urges us to change that mindset and listen with humility, assuming that the person speaking might know something valuable that we don't. Everyone you meet has experienced life differently. They've learned things through pain, joy, success, and failure. If you dismiss their voice, you might miss insights that could help you grow. Listening isn't just about politeness. It's a form of learning and respect. Peterson suggests that when you truly listen, the conversation becomes transformational, not just informational. You help the other person think more clearly, and you give yourself a chance to learn something new or correct your own assumptions. He also talks about the inner voice we all have, the ongoing self-conversation that helps us make sense of our lives. Speaking with others sharpens that voice, especially when we listen actively and engage honestly. So, instead of always needing to be right or heard, approach conversations as learning opportunities. That shift in mindset can lead to better relationships, and a wiser, more open version of yourself. Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson emphasizes the power of clear and honest communication. When you are vague about your problems, goals, or emotions, you allow chaos and confusion to grow. But when you speak precisely, naming what's wrong, what you want, or what you fear, you start to bring order into your life. Peterson explains that many people avoid being precise because they're afraid of what they might discover. It's easier to say something's wrong than to face exactly what is wrong, whether it's a broken relationship, a failing job, or personal weakness. But avoiding specifics doesn't make the problem go away. It often makes it worse. Being precise means confronting reality head-on. It allows you to define the issue clearly so that you can take meaningful action. Whether you're asking for help, setting boundaries, or expressing feelings, clear language helps you and others understand what's really going on. Peterson also reminds us that clarity in speech leads to clarity in thought. When you say exactly what you mean, you become stronger, more focused, and more in control of your life. So don't hide behind vague words. Say what you mean. Face what is real. Be precise. Rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. In this chapter, Jorden Peterson defends the idea that risk and challenge are essential for growth, especially for boys and young men. He uses the image of children skateboarding to represent natural, instinctive learning through trial and error. When children engage in risky play, like skateboarding, they test their limits, build resilience, and learn how to handle failure. Peterson warns against the modern tendency to overprotect children, especially boys, in the name of safety or political correctness. Constant interference, he argues, prevents them from developing independence, confidence, and courage. Shielding them from discomfort might seem caring, but it actually weakens their ability to deal with the real world. He also critiques ideologies that portray masculinity as inherently toxic. Peterson believes that strong, competent men are vital to society, and that boys need space to grow into that strength. Suppressing natural male traits like competitiveness or risk-taking can lead to resentment, passivity, or rebellion. This rule is a reminder to let children, especially boys, face challenges, fall down, and get back up. It's how they grow. Instead of smothering them with protection, trust their instincts and respect their desire to push boundaries. Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. In this emotional and reflective final chapter, Jorden Peterson talks about how to find small moments of peace and beauty in the midst of suffering. The rule: pet a cat when you encounter one on the street is a metaphor for appreciating life's quiet, fleeting joys, especially during dark times. Peterson shares personal experiences, including his daughter's long battle with a painful chronic illness. Through this, he learned that life is deeply unfair and filled with suffering, but it's still possible to find meaning, not by eliminating pain, but by enduring it with grace and noticing the good where you can. The cat represents those small, spontaneous moments that give us relief. A kind smile, a beautiful sunset, a comforting song, or yes, a friendly cat on the street. These moments won't fix everything, but they remind us that not all is lost, even when life feels overwhelming. Peterson encourages readers to slow down, pay attention, and allow themselves to rest in small pleasures, especially when going through hardship. These little acts of mindfulness can help us survive the worst days. This rule is about gratitude, acceptance, and finding peace, even in life's chaos. And that wraps up the summary of 12 Rules for Life by Jorden Peterson. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Simplified Whispers. your go-to place for powerful book summaries that fit into your busy life. Whether you're looking for motivation, self-growth, or just simple wisdom in simple words, we've got you covered. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new summary. And hey, let us know in the comments. Which rule hit you the hardest? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep learning, keep growing. This is Simplified Whispers.